and this is a follow-up video on 5 invisible differences of Veloster N stick shift and Veloster N DCT. Welcome to CarSceneKorea. I introduce newly released Genesis, Hyundai, and Kia cars. Pardon me, it took some time for me to create this video. After I got myself the Veloster N DCT, the differences were touched here and there, so I kind of didn't bother making a video of that one. But there was a request, and I didn't know you guys were waiting on it, so quickly pulled out this Veloster N's, and I have this stick shift. And big shout out to KMSA for supporting this video, providing the car and the place and the opportunity to make a follow-up video of it. Alright, so without further ado, let's just get to it. And just so you guys, for those of you wondering why this plate is somewhat different from regular ones, it's because it's a temporary license plate valid for 1 full year for a test purpose. Starting from the front is camber. So the stick shift, the manual, it has 0.6 degrees of camber, whereas Veloster N DCT has 1.6. So that's 1 full degree more than a stick shift to DCT. And that's because it carries over to the second invisible differences, which is that Veloster N DCT weighs 50 kilos more than a stick shift. That's due to the weight of the transmission, the DCT being heavier. Let me just close the door. Because of that added weight, they had to find a way for make it performance oriented as that of the stick shift. So what N has come up with as a solution is that they added extra camber on the front. Again, 1.6 for the DCT, 0.6 for stick shift. Maybe we could see the difference with a camera, you guys tell me. So that's how much camber that the front has for stick shift, and that's DCT. If it's a full 1 degree, it should be visible to our eyes, and I think it is. You guys tell me, what do you guys think? So again, 1.6 for the DCT and just 0.6. And good that we have the exact same setup. This car also has full and performance parts on the exterior. So same wheel, same brake as mine, 1.6 and 0.6. Well, just because we have them here, this is the a regular front brake, as we all know. By the way, I love the spoiler. That was a K3 GT. He's done a very good job, or she's done a very good job with the exhaust. I like that note. And number 3 is N-Track Sense. And again, as the title said, that is the invisible difference. And that N-Track Sense comes up when the car learns that you are in an environment where you're pushing the car. So when the G-force is constantly pushed one direction or the other, the car learns and picks up that you are driving the car, you're pushing the car, then it will automatically pop up that N-Track Sense. And unfortunately, due to the reason being, I can't pull it out and show it to you. It's just a little light comes up on a tachometer with the N-Track Sense on the top, I believe. And once the N-Track Sense comes up, the car is now at really the full potential. It shifts more promptly and fast, very much more responsive. And this, I am borrowing it from other fellow YouTubers and also professional racers and drivers, that it really pushes the car to the edge, right underneath that performance. So when you are tracking this car, and when that end track sense comes up, it shifts down to a just about the perfect time, perfect gear, and it shifts down to a perfect level that's best suit and fit for that specific corner. And of course it shifts up after you make the exit, after the CP. When you accelerate, it will shift up accordingly. So once again, as soon as that end track sense comes up, it's a whole new different car. Some said that even more precise than what a race driver would shift. So number 3 was end track sense. And number 4, the fourth invisible difference is, guess what it is? I'm going to the back of the car, and it is the exhaust. You guys probably know. The exhaust for stick shift and DCT is different. So it is same from the white pipe to the middle, but what's different is the end of the exhaust. That's where they have the valves that open and close accordingly for your normal mode and N mode and whatnot. And what the N owners have found out is that actually the manufacturer for the exhaust for DCT and a manual is actually different. So they're made from a different factory, and they kind of look almost identical on the exterior and outside, but it sure does sound very different. I covered that on the visible differences. Well, visible, the sound is visible. So it's much more louder stick shift compared to that of a DCT. But DCT provides the bubble-ish sound just like any other DCT, so it has the sound of that pure DCT in it. So definitely this is quiet, more quiet than this one, that's for sure. But some people like this one over just because it's more quiet, so you don't bother your neighbor that much and whatnot. I actually have a manual exhaust in my garage. I already bought it. I mean, I bought that before the car actually came out. But I am still holding on to my DCT. Not so much because, well, not to say that I like this one better, but I just didn't see a need yet. But again, I'll be making a video because I will be throwing on that stick shift exhaust on my car. So I'll actually make a clip and show you a direct comparison how it sounds different. So that was number 4, the fourth invisible difference. By the way, this is the KMSA. This is the KMSA's car, and I just dropped by today just to say hello because I was just passing by, but then I ended up doing the oil change, the honky install, and also it just popped up in my head that I should do a invisible video. So quickly asked him a favor. That's how I could get this car and pulled out the camera. But again, I'll cover this car and also that TCR inside later, sooner or later. All right, last but not least, moving on to the last point, which is the 5th invisible difference, is, of course, wait for it, guess what it is? Going inside the car. And the last difference is this right here. The last difference is this right here. I'll show you that on a stick shift as well. And on a stick shift, we have RAV instead of NGS. Well, this is the original leather seat. This car also has the Alcantara. Anyhow, that is the difference. NGS. N, green shift, And I've actually measured that on a dyno, inserting right now. Hello everyone, welcome to the Veloster N DCT Dyno. I'm here testing out the dyno. A stock Veloster N DCT model. Oh, that popcorn is hella loud. Alright, so guess how much I gained from that one? NGS precisely increased the horsepower by 10, and that's the to the wheels, as well as 2 torque increased. So precisely as they have said, gain 10 horsepowers and 2 torque extra with that NGS. But on top of the horsepower and torque, you also gain swiftness in shifting. It shifts faster than a regular other modes. And the thing is, as soon as you hit the NGS, the countdown will start 20 seconds, but you could pause it and you could reuse it whenever you want to. So say you use the first 10 seconds of 20 seconds, then you still have 10 seconds left. For your information, there is actually a 3-minute cooldown for NGS. So every NGS you use, you have to wait 3 minutes to use another 20 seconds. So going back to that 10 seconds, I think if you don't get back to the NGS for about like 3 minutes or so, it actually refreshes back to 20 seconds. Again, I couldn't clock the time exactly, but I used the NGS and then didn't use it for a good few minutes. And then I was thinking that, hey, I probably have 10 seconds left, but then I hit the NGS, I still have, I was back to the 20 seconds. So again, if I get the chance later on, I'll get that on the video as well. So that was the 5 invisible differences of the DCT versus stick shift. And hope you guys enjoyed it. If you did, please subscribe and like. And again, big shout out to KMSA. And I'll be making more videos at here. This is like the place for Veloster N here in Korea. Trust me, this is not a lot of Veloster N's yet. This lot gets loaded with Veloster N when there's like a meet or something like that. All right, well, actually, that N coming in right now, it participates in races here in Korea. It actually participates in Hyundai N Festival. This is the KMSA's car. Just coming in. Look at that decal. And again, if I get the chance, I'll do a full review on that car as well. Alright, well then, I'll see you on the next video. Bye.